So now we are heading to question number 5.3, right? So 5.3, I'm gonna rewrite it. They say to us if sine 2 theta is equals to negative 4 square root of 2 divided by 9, and 2 theta, it is the element of set 90 degrees to 270 degrees, both included. Determine the value of the following without, you see, without using a calculator. Everything is without using a calculator. So what's given here is we are told that sine 2 theta, this will most definitely be equals to negative 4 square root of 2 divided by 9. And we are also told that 2 theta, 2 theta exists within this interval. It is the element of 90 degrees and 270 degrees. And they say determine the following without the use of a calculator. So basically, we're going to do 5.3.1. So what do we want to calculate? We want to calculate cos 2 theta. Basically, there are two ways on how to solve this question, okay? The first way, it is you by drawing a diagram. The diagram, you have two pieces of information that you can make use of to draw your diagram. Or you can use your identities. By looking at this, there is a quicker and the simplest way that I can think of, which worth 3 marks. But firstly, let me try with this longer one. It's not long, it seems long because you're going to have to draw a diagram. So let me start with that first method and show you how we can go about for this question, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to draw your Cartesian plane quick, right? We are familiar with this type of questions, but here we have, maybe you don't know how to go about for it, you're going to be forced to draw it for yourself. So at this point in time, we have to pick up a quadrant based on these two pieces of information. So I'm going to start with the equation over here that says sine 2 theta is equals to negative blah blah, right? So making use of this information, where is sine function negative? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for where sine. That was my technical error. Hope it is fixed now. Then we can continue with we can continue where we left. Right. So I was trying to explain over here that sine function, we are looking for sine function where it is negative. We know that first quadrant, all trig functions are positive. Second quadrant, sine belongs in here. So meaning sine function is negative on the third quadrant. Okay, where is my, I'm waiting for you to pop on the screen. Let me come here. Oh my God, there it is. So sine function, it is negative in the third quadrant. It is also negative in the fourth quadrant. Now we are done making use of this information. Remember, we're supposed to pick only one quadrant. So far we have two, so we're gonna narrow it down further. And then they said to us 2 theta, which is this angle, 2 theta, 2 theta. So 2 theta, it is between 90 degrees and 270. So this is 90 degrees, and definitely this will give us 270 degrees. So they say our theta is between here and here. So where you have your double tick, that's where you're gonna draw your right angled triangle. So that means I'm gonna erase this, I'm gonna erase this, I'm gonna draw my right angle in the third quadrant, right? This is where I'm going to write my right angle. And make sure that when you write your or draw your right angle triangle, you go to your your x-axis all the times. So you go to your x-axis, and therefore your line that is parallel to your y-axis will most definitely be parallel to your y-axis, and the line parallel to your x-axis will be called x, and then the line that is opposite to your 90 degrees will be your hypotenuse, which is denoted by letter R. So making use of this information once more, again, recall that we are given sine theta, 2 theta is equals to that. But if you do recall, sine, it is given by what in terms of x, y, and r. We know that it is given by y over r. I once gave you guys a hint on how to figure this out. Like I said, sometimes you can forget sine theta, it is x over r, or sometimes you can forget whether sine theta is y over r. I said just quickly draw your right angle triangle and put your theta there. This is your y, you know, this is your x, and this is your r, and figure out sine. Sine, it's, you know, SOHCAHTOA. Opposite over hypotenuse, which is opposite to this angle, which is y over hypotenuse. You understand? In that case, you will remember that sine, it is always y over r. So in this case, that means which value corresponds with r, which value corresponds with y. Having a look at that, we have a negative 4 square root of 2 divided by 9. So negative 4 square root of 2 corresponds with the value of y. Positive 9 corresponds with value of r. Yes, negative because y can be negative. And by the way, we have already chosen this quadrant. We know y values in this quadrant are negative. So here we're going to have negative 4 square root of 2. And then our r will definitely be 9. Now, how are we going to figure out the value of x? Theorem of Pythagoras. So we have x squared minus r squared. R squared in this case is going to be 9 squared minus x squared. X squared in this case, we have negative 4 square root of 2. So since we're only supposed to use the calculator, we know all of us what is 9 squared, right? So 9 squared is going to be 81. And then let me not forget squared there, minus negative 4 to the power of 2, that will be 16, right? Yes. And the square root of 2, that will be 2. We have 81 minus, now we are looking for 16 multiplied by 2, it's going to be 32. And then we're going to have 81 minus 32, it will give us 49. Do not forget that this side we have x squared. So now, to get rid of squared, we introduce root sign, even this side, and then we put plus or minus. So our x will be plus or minus 7, because the square root of 49, it is 7, right? Recall that we do everything without the use of a calculator. So, but in this case, definitely, our value of x will be the negative 1, since, well, our diagram, it is on third quadrant. So here we're going to have negative 7. And then now we can solve this question specifically. We can solve 5.3.1. So we were looking for this, right? All right. So cos 2 theta is equals to how much? Remember, this is sine 2 theta. This angle over here is 2 theta. So we are looking for cos theta. We know it's going to be x over r. Then our x in this case is negative 7. Our r in this case is just 9. So this will be the final answer. We're going to get negative 7 over 9. So this is just a way on how we can solve this question. But if you want to do it quickly without doing the diagrams and all of that, this is where you're going to have to use your, let me show you another way of doing this. Feel comfortable to do it in either one of the two ways. It's 2.1. You can also do it like this. Remember, we are given that sine 2 theta is equals to negative 4 square root of 2 divided by 9. So we are looking for cos 2, we are looking for cos 2 theta. So you can do it like this. You can use your identities. Remember that according to this identity, identity that says sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is equals to 1. We can make use of this identity because we want to make cos 2 theta the subject of the formula. So we have sine, but instead there we have 2 theta, right? We have 2 theta plus cos squared 2 theta. This can be equals to 1. And then we want to make this guy the subject of the formula. Cos squared 2 theta is equals to 1. Transpose this one that side, minus sine squared 2 theta. And then from here, to get rid of this, we're going to have to take root side, right? Root this side, take root that side. Recall that you put your plus or minus there. And here we're going to have cos 2 theta, which is what we are looking for, right? And then plus or minus 1 subtract what is sine 2 theta. Sine 2 theta, recall that it is given, right? But there it is squared. We will just square it and substitute it. Negative 4 square root of 2 divided by 9, close the bracket, to the power of 2. So in this case, you're going to have plus or minus square root of, let's see, 1 minus what is negative 4 to the power of 2. Definitely that will give us 16, multiplied by square root of 2 to the power of 2. That will give us 2. What is 9 to the power of 2? That will give us 81. And then we have plus or minus. If you are a mathematical person and you love your mathematics, you can do it like this. And then what is 16 multiplied by 2? 16 multiplied by 2, definitely that will give us 32. 32 divided by 81. And then let us consider adding these two guys together. Let me write this side. 1 minus 32 divided by 81. Let me confirm. Yep. This is cos 2 theta. And then from here, you're going to add these guys together. You're going to have 81 minus 32 divided by 81. And then what is 81 minus 32? Oh, do not forget to put your plus or minus over there, right? Plus or minus, plus or minus, plus or minus. So, and then in this case, we know that 81 minus 32, it will give us 49. Divide by 81. And then plus or minus. What is the square root of 49? Square root of 49 is 7. What is the square root of 81? Square root of 81, it is most definitely 9. And then which one are we going to take? Are we going to take plus or minus? Recall that we are on the third quadrant. Recall that we will be on the third quadrant, right? Because they say to us, theta, will start information. Theta, 2 theta is supposed to be between 90 and 270. So in this case, that means our x will be negative. So obvious, this will be x. Then we're going to take the negative 1, negative 7 over 9. And therefore, this will be the final answer, just like how we got it over here. And you can also use your identities to get your final answer. It's up to you how you want to approach this question.